Hello everybody, Dev here, the Rogue Deck Chronicles, and today I want to showcase our attempt of making Mega Darkrai work. So Mega Darkrai EX is a basic Mega Darkness Pokemon, 208 HP, has 2 attacks. The first one for 2 Darkness Energy, Duskgrave, does 110, and if one of your bench Pokemon has any damage counters on it, it does 110 more for a total of 220. Feels great, sounds great, can KO the Fezandipitis, the Meowths, and some other Stage 1 in basic EX Pokemon. But what got a lot of attention was the second attack for 3 Darkness Energy Abyssa. If your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, it is knocked out immediately, which solves a lot of problems for higher HP Stage 2 or Mega EX Pokemon. But how are you going to ask, how are we going to get these special conditions onto our active Pokemon? Or onto our opponent's active Pokemon? So in this version, we have a couple different ways. First off, we're running a Volcanion EX. Volcanion EX has that Scalding Steam ability where we can burn our opponent's active Pokemon as long as it's in the active spot. And that works because we are running a Pecharunt retreat engine. So as long as we have a Petrel in play and a Darkness Pokemon in play with this Volcanion, we can lead with the Volcanion in between turns, burn, subjugating chain the Darkness Pokemon we want to be attacking into the active, in this case with the Darkrai, and we're going to be able to get the special condition onto our active Pokemon, our opponent's active Pokemon, and be able to do what it needs to do. The other way of special conditions for us is the new Dark Bell item that's coming out in Pitch Black. Both active non-Darkness Pokemon are now confused. So we can just play that, and as long as we're not playing against a Fezandipiti, a Morty, or a mirror match, Pokemon is now confused. That works great. We also are running a Lisia's Appeal, so we can just gust a basic Pokemon from our opponent's side, put in the active, and now that Pokemon's now confused. So as you're seeing, we're trying to kind of manipulate the board state of making sure we have a whole bunch of ways to get special conditions onto the field. And with that, we want to utilize Dangerous Laser for our Ace spec. Again, not a very common Ace spec, but I felt like this Ace spec makes sense with this archetype. It's another way for us to get a special condition onto our opponent's active. So as you saw, we have 4 different ways to really just get special conditions into play and do what we need to do with our deck. Now, the other pieces that go around the Darkrai, because we're running a 2 of Darkrai. We already talked about the 1 Volcanion, the 1 Pecharunt. We're running a 3-3 line of the Toxtricity engine to accelerate the energy, and also get damage counters onto the bench to at least make Duskgrave or viable in some circumstances. We're also going to be running 2 Munkidori, because we will want to kind of push damage counters off our board and fix some math. And then we are running 1 Morpeko EX. Morpeko EX is another card from Pitch Black. It has 2 attacks, Wheelie Draw and Hungry Blaster. Really, you're not really utilizing the Hungry Blaster unless you're making a combo with the Toxtricity for an alternative attacker. But the Wheelie Draw makes Morpeko a really good lead in a situation where you can play down your hand, or even you have a bad hand and just give yourself a hand reset turn 1. And because it's an EX and not Mega EX, it doesn't mess with the prize mapping with the Mega Darkrai. It actually enhances your prize mapping a little bit more. So it is a cheeky include in this deck, and I really do like it just because it isn't the strongest card, but it does its job very well, especially in this deck. In terms of the other cards we're kind of running around, we are running 4 Poké Pad because we are running a lot of basic Pokemon to kind of set up around it. 3 Ultra Ball. Again, we are very much an EX focus, so Ultra Ball does help us get those. And then with the supporters, we're going to be running 4 Lilies. We talked about that. 2 Janine Secret Art, which will allow us to accelerate Darkness Energy from our deck and be able to just kind of pop off and get a bit more momentum. We are running 1 Cyrano if we want to get EXs out of the deck in bulk. 2 Boss, 1 Morty's Conviction, and 1 Petrel. So we're kind of being able to do a lot. It seems like a lot, but each card does fulfill a certain role of what it's looking for. And then we're running 10 total darkness energy. It seems a little thick, but I'd rather have a little more dark energy in a deck, purely for that acceleration piece that we're talking about. We have a whole bunch of different ways to accelerate energy with Janine's Secret Art and Toxtricity, so we want to make sure we hit the energy when we need it. So this is definitely a RDC creation. We took some ideas from all around the Japan metagame and some other content creators, and kind of sat in the lab and like, how can we get this to work? And this is the closest thing I've gotten. I enjoyed some of the testing with it. It definitely has some pitfalls. I'm not going to say this is a perfect list. I think Mega Darkrai EX is a flawed card that everyone wants to make work. They just haven't figured it out yet, and I think we're part of that. It's just haven't made it work yet. But I'm going to let you guys see the results of the testing, and I'm going to let you guys at the end of the video determine, did we figure out Mega Darkrai? That being said, guys, before we jump into the matches, just do me two favors. Just look to see if you liked the video and if you subscribe to the channel. Once you've done that, just sit back, relax, and watch how we attempt to solve Mega Darkrai EX. Going first here, leading with the Fez and the Darkrai. Let's see what our opponent has. Okay, we're going against the Dragapult. Which means we can put some aggression on here. So we're just going to attach and pass. And hopefully next turn we can be able to knock out whatever's in the active. Let's see what we can get out of the Lillie, basically. So, not the best lead here. Darkrai, really what we want to do with the Darkrai is either put Ultra Aggression on these basic in Stage 1 Pokemon, or we want to let them get us to the multi-prizers and we can just one-shot and OHKO the multi-prizers. Okay, attach pass. This might end up being a fairly quick match here. It's not going to, unfortunately. So, with that being the case, I'm just going to leave the Fezandipiti active. Okay. We whiffed on a fairly greedy play, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the play would have been getting a Pecharunt, attaching an energy, and doing the switching, which is not unrealistic for the deck, but it was still fairly greedy. Alright, they're gonna Jamming Tower away our Risky Ruin. Yep. But we can still take out this Dragapult. And we have the Janine here as well, so we can really just go into setting up the Darkrai with no real punishment. Which is good. Alright, so they put the energy there. So they're understanding that one of these guys are going to die this turn. Okay. But I'm going to just do the Chi-Yu play here as well. Let's accelerate. This is going to look weird, but I really don't think a Fezandipiti play is an awful play in this kind of setup here. Two attackers set up, ready to go. We just took out the Draclock. 4 cards in hand. I'm not too concerned. I think that with Dragapult, you just have to assume they always have what they need. But with the way our bench is kind of set up, Darkrai is on board with the Duskgrave. Because we can always, we have the Lillie, we have some Boss. There's the rare candy. If we can get a Dark Bell, we would be online for a very cheeky 2-prize KO here. Actually, I'm saying the Dark Bell. It doesn't even have to be the Dark Bell. We have the Dangerous Laser. So we have a couple options here. They're going to make us go through the Meowth, which the appeal is going to be great late game because that Meowth is going to be easy to be targeted. So we're going to thin one here. Onto the Fez here. Puts damage onto the Fez, turns that on. Do we just... Part of me is like, do I just Lillie and just try to go for other pieces? I think I do. We'll take the Meowth because we have it. And I'm going to put down a Munkidori for this turn here. Forcing the Boss. But at least we get down to 3 prizes. And with the Monkey in play, they do go with the Dragapult. At least I'm pushing some energy around with the Monkey. That's my thought, is I want to try to push energy around. I can Petrel for a... Depending if we get the energy, I can Petrel for a status conditioning item. It can be the Dangerous Laser, it can be whatever. Janine's Secret Art gets us to acceleration too. Obviously can't Petrel Janine, but let's see what our opponent does here. We're seeing the Dusclops, so he can't pop the Dusclops, put the damage onto the Chi-Yu, and then take the Chi-Yu KO. Where is he putting that 50 is the question. He's putting it onto the Volcanion. Okay. But now, knocking out this Ultra Ball. Okay, that's a thinning card. Knocking out the Dragapult gives us the game. Oh, yeah. We have a couple outs to it. Let's see. He had the Disclops in the hand. Interesting that he was a little impatient on that one. He's digging for the energy. Got the energy. Okay. Got the Boss. Okay. So we Ultra Ball, then we have Crushing Hammer. Puts a 60 in the Darkrai. Knocks out the Volcanion. I'll put the Fez up front, just because at least if we have to hard retreat, it's there. There's the Binding Mochi. I'm just gonna try to be a little disruptive. We got it. Let's get rid of that fire energy just because we can. Okay. We're gonna try to thin out here. We have a couple chances to hit some stuff. Okay. Pecharunt. We'll put the Pecharunt in play. It gives us the retreating options here. We surge onto the Pech, just out of safety. And I guess we Lillie for 6. We don't get it. Okay. Okay. So this is still 220. Let's flip the script to grab 3 more. I forgot we had flipped the script and we still missed, so it doesn't matter. We even miss a whole bunch of energy too. How much energy is in the discard? Only 3, so it's not like the worst odds here. So this Dragapult's definitely within range. We have the boss. I'm trying to think, can he take 4 prizes this turn? With the board state, I think it's a stretch unless he drops a Munkidori, but then he would have to Munkidori and do a Crispin. So I think that's fine. And we're not gonna get red carded this turn. No, we could get unfair no, we can't get unfair stamped yet. I think we're fine this turn. There's the boss. He's gonna take out the Fez, give himself 2 prizes. But he can't take out anything else. Yeah, so we win. He just gave us the win there because we kind of just checkmated our board state. Because we have 2 prizes left and he has 100 HP on his Dragapult. So we're just going to take the prizes and go. I'm not going to do the shenanigans on our opponent. It's not how I like to do things. And we take the win. Dark Bell was in the prizes. Of course it was, right? So that's against Dragapult without being able to do a lot of the shenanigans, but putting good, aggressive, big, bulky pressure, which is why the way we built this deck, we kind of have a lot of different win cons in it. So let's go to another match and see how we do. Alright, so we're going second. So I'm going to lead with the Morpeko here. And I'm going to go put all that onto the bench here. Facing off against a metal deck, which really just means we need to lean into the Abyssile as much as we can. Because we're not going to be able to go back and forth one shot for one shot without putting on the special conditions and all that stuff. So with the Morpeko, at least we have the wheelie draw for turn 1 when we kind of burn down our hand size. And we can kind of just do what we need to do this turn. We can definitely sack the Morpeko because it's 2/3/3 is still the same order. That's why I really love this card in this deck. It's Steven's Metagross with a Jellicent. Okay, Frillish Jellicent, I see it. Item lock. It's really, really good. So we have to make sure that we're getting up everything as quick as possible here. As much as I would love to, we really can't put much attacking pressure of Chi-Yu right now. But we can next turn. Because we could Ultra Ball down to a Toxel. And kind of just do that pressure. So. But. Oh. I am slowly struggling, guys. I am so sorry. I'm sick. I'm working like 60 hours a week for work. While trying to pump out these videos for you guys. Hope you guys are appreciating our content, especially for the Pitch Black set. We're super excited for it. But it's just what it is right now. Dean and I are definitely just trying to do our thing. To get everything done for you guys as quick and as easy as possible. So we're going to wheelie draw here. Alright, so the Pecharunt is prize, so that will slow down some combos here. But that's okay. We're gonna get ourselves a fresh hand. And yeah, next turn, this is doable. Very doable. Slow him down with Hammer. If they get any more greedy on the bench, we could definitely just Morty Conviction for a good draw. Because we really don't need more than one Toxel. Okay. That's going to slow us down a turn, potentially. May not. We'll see what they try to do here. They're probably going to retreat into that Frillish and try to... They're going to item lock us. Okay, so... Alright, we're item locked for a turn. Not the worst thing in the world. We'll just Lillie for 8 fresh cards. Let's throw down a Risky Ruin for their upcoming turns. I'm just going to push the damage they put on this monkey onto that Beldum for now. Because if it becomes a Steven's Metagross, I'm more concerned about that than anything else. And then I'm going to end turn. I really don't have a good feel for anything else. The wheelie draw didn't feel like a good enough play. And now we have the Munkidori with the Darkness Energy, so any damage they put on the monkey, or any damage they put on us, part of it gets pushed back, which doesn't feel awful. Be quite honest with you. So this is definitely going to be more of a grindy chess game kind of match, which I appreciate sometimes. All right, so they're expanding their bench a little bit more. If they put if they put at least one more down, Morty's becomes a lot more viable. Because Morty for 4 feels a lot better than a Morty for 2. Are they going to item lock us again? Okay. So honestly, I think we do the Morty for 4 or Morty for 3. And that got us something. I think at this point their item lock strategy is becoming more of a nuisance to us than anything else. So we just take the KO, and that way we can try to turn ourselves back on next turn. Because we have the Poké Pad to get the Toxtricity, we have an Ultra Ball to get a Darkrai. We have our items back online, so we can actually do stuff again. So I'm curious if, well, Fezandipiti, this Beldum could turn into a Metagross real quick on us. And the Metagross can one-shot the Morpeko. But we kind of had to. I think the Morpeko did exactly what it's designed to do for this deck. It's a really good early game draw to reset your hand kind of card. It can provide really good awkward attacking damage for our opponent. And it kind of shifts the prize trade where they can knock out a Morpeko and they still have to go through 2 Darkrai's. So that's why I love this card. It doesn't feel the greatest on paper sometimes, but it definitely does what it's designed to do. We just need to get a Darkrai up and running. Okay. They grabbed the Metang out of all that. 60 damage is not going to be a lot, especially if you hit into us. I mean, you're definitely playing into us. Well, I don't think he's going to. Because he would have to attach a Metal Energy. We haven't seen Metal. We're getting boss, probably the monkey again. The Toxtricity, okay. Or the Toxel, okay. Damage into the Toxel, okay. That's how they're going to slow us down this turn. Okay. I see it. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, it was worth a shot. Okay, so how do we do 60 damage this turn? Without being able to do much else. First things first. Let's grab the energy, because we can just put another Toxel into play this way. Actually, we'll bring a Fez in first. Let's Fez to see what we get. We have a Janine. Janine doesn't really do much for us, does it? No, we're just gonna hand reset. I was hoping to get something off it. We just barely missed out on it, that's all. What I could have, what I probably should have grabbed is... I want to use this as a search. Is the... Yeah, I should have grabbed the Dangerous Laser, because we would have hit, burned, it would have been the 60. So I'm just gonna put the damage onto this Metang. It's gonna be a Metagross next turn, and then we're gonna have to deal with it. But with having 80 damage, it's a lot more manageable to deal with. But he's doing 200 to everything, so we really need to try to find a play to get a Darkrai. So Full Metal Lab does what? They take 30 less damage. Okay. But again, a Darkrai Abyssai doesn't really care about that as much. Okay. They're down to 3. So we're just going to promote. Evolve. I think I'm just gonna poke in with the Chi-Yu this turn. There's the Darkrai. Problem is, as much as I don't want to put the Darkrai in play, I kind of have to, right? I'm gonna confuse him to kind of just do something. It's really all it is. It needs to do something. So he's taking another 80, which cannot do something. Really, now he has to fight through confusion and do a double switch pivot, which I'm okay with. But yeah, I definitely didn't play right on the turn. I could have just done Morpeko with a Dangerous Laser, where this Metagross wouldn't be existing right now. So I will admit that's a misplay. So what are we going to see with this Poké Pad? He's just grabbing cards out of the deck, so he's just doing something, which is fine. For us, a Lillie, okay. Mega Mall, wow, okay. I see it. Gobble down for 80. Does what it needs to do. But he's not going to be able to do that turn, so. Confusion. Tails, yes. Did exactly what we needed to do. We got desperate and it worked. So now, before I do anything, okay, yeah, game, I know. There, we'll slow it down a little bit. Game was not happy with what I was reading. If your opponent's active has any damage counter, does base 30. Okay. Man. Really not a fan of like the board state for us. It's really just not doing what I was hoping. I guess we'll just hit into the Metagross again. Man. The Pecharunt being prized definitely slow us down just a little bit. But so how are we going to take 3 prizes? I think, or 5 prizes. I think the 5 prizes are the Metagross and then the Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile, we just need to try to Abyss Eye, which Confusion Flip. Heads. Okay, so he gets the KO, which is fine. Because now we are gonna be greedy. At this point, I'm just gonna be greedy and impatient and really try to put pressure on this way. Dangerous Laser, we're gonna hold. First things first, I want to draw. Okay. Hold on. If I take the 3 prizes, 3 times 8 is 240, so that's fine. We're gonna thin a little bit here. Let's recycle that energy because I know there's plenty of energy to put back in. 4 energy, yep. If I do burn boss, 220 plus 40. Actually, that's what we're gonna do. That Metagross is in range for several attacks. And we're just gonna burn boss here. And we're gonna just do 190, set up some damage here. Alright, so he's gonna have to retreat out to that. And now his attacks just aren't as threatening. At least for this turn. Part of me's still not 100% confident on the win here, but it's the best that I can really muster, for lack of better terms. It's through the heads, okay. The confusion would have been great. What? Did I just not do math? Oh, it's prizes you've taken. I can't math. But the confusion was the right play. I think the confusion definitely was the right play there. Because the KOing of the Metagross wouldn't have done us anything. So, but that, honestly, it's the pros and cons of Darkrai. Like, the pieces that I've kind of put together the best I could here showcases that Darkrai isn't the... It can be the star of the show, but you can't truthfully build around a deck. I think For the Win made a really good video kind of showcasing that as well. At the same time as we were kind of crafting ours in the back end, we just went 2 very different approaches with different type of strategies. So Darkrai is a fun card if you can get the Abyss Eye, but as you see here in that last match, it's like if you're missing a piece or a piece that's prize, you really just go down to a grinding halt and you really just can't do as much as you want to do. Like Darkrai, cool card, cool mega, just is missing something right now, and hopefully in future sets, it still has 2 years of standard viability. So with that, it's just missing something, and maybe in a couple years it gets what it needs with the darkness build up and just making special conditions even more common than what they are right now. But that being said, guys, thank you so much for making this far into the video. If you haven't, please like the video, and if you want to, please subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us. Also lets us know that you like the content we're pushing out and like the deck ideas that we're doing. So that being said, guys, thank you again, and as always, have fun playing those sneaky decks.